Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We're live on multiple platforms, including, of course, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. I was going to be live on TikTok, but we had a little technical issue behind the scenes, meaning I couldn't find my other phone. I rely so much on this thing, but this is not connected to my business phone. I was like, damn, what did I do? I just had the phone. So I wanted to go live. So that was part of the reason why I was running a little late. But of course, trying to gather everything for our Thirsty Thursdays. Thirsty Thursdays, as you know, is a combination of reality TV recaps. But I think I'm just going to switch it over to what we do on Tuesday Takeover and talk about pop culture news. As you know, here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, that's what we do. We don't just talk about some of your favorite reality TV stars. We talk about everything in pop culture. So I have to talk a little bit more about the backlash that's been coming out of the Golden Globes and Jerrod Carmichael. The Whitney Houston estate is speaking out and slamming him. And in my last recap from yesterday, where I talked about the Golden Globes, I didn't talk about my girl, Angela Bassett. I'm sorry, girl. I can't remember everything. Even when I take notes, I can't even remember everything. There were so many monumental moments, and I watched the Golden Globes last night, and it was actually a really good award show. I mean, it was long as ever. It was long. Thank God for Peacock. Look, they're not paying me, but at this point, I got to watch it without all the commercials and things like that. And even with that, it's 2.5 hours. But I was actually engaged. I'm okay, let's be honest. You know I multitask. So I was multitasking and watching at the same time. But dare I say, I teared up a couple of times. I teared up a couple of times, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But before we get into talking about the Golden Globes, before we talk about that finale of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, before we talk about Below Deck Adventure, you know we'd like to start off our Thirsty Thursdays with some good news. And nothing's better than living another year. Elsa says, who performed? What do you mean who performed? Do you mean who was the host? I mean, there were no performances at the Golden Globes, right? I didn't see any performances. Why didn't they have the people sing their songs or something like that? Rihanna was there with that man. Oh. I kid. It's Thursday. Lighten up. Look, lighten up. Tomorrow's Friday. So we'll talk more about the Golden Globes. But like I said, I like to start Thirsty Thursdays and Tuesday Takeovers with some good news. So I want to say happy birthday to Mary J. Blige. It was her birthday yesterday. The queen of hip hop soul. Happy birthday today to Issa Rae. And rest in peace to Naya Rivera. Today would have been her 36th birthday. Oh, that story is... Oof. That story is a sad one. Oh, my goodness. And we still don't really... We kind of know what happened, but we don't know what happened. Very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. And for those of you that are part of the replay crew or in the live chat saying, why is your tree still up? You worry about yourself, okay? I'm waiting on the thing to put my new ornaments in, so I don't want to take it off the tree and break them, okay? So that's the only reason why this tree is still up. All the other decorations have been taken down. My other tree is still up too because I'm waiting on the ornament situation. I mean, I could literally move this out of frame and you would never know. But I don't care. Look, I don't care. I even got the little graphics with Christmas going on in the back. All right. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I hope that you guys have a blessed 2023, one full of great experiences and health and wealth. Why not? That's what I'm trying to bring into the new year. Shoot. So yes, happy birthday to all of you that might be celebrating a birthday. Are we officially, what day is it? No, we're still in Capricorn season. So shout out to all my fellow earth signs, Capricorns. Happy Capricorn season. I don't really have any feeling towards Capricorns. You know, I usually have like a strong feeling towards Capricorns. I feel like Capricorns and I see each other more than Virgos. I think Capricorns, we see. Okay. Yeah. Since we're just talking about see each other. Okay, so yesterday, if you missed the report that I did on Phaedra Parks, let's just jump right on in. Then we'll get into some reality TV recaps. But since I said we see each other, let's talk about Phaedra Parks really quickly. Okay, and then you guys will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on the Phaedra Parks situation. Okay, because look, oh Phaedra. So, yesterday I reported that there are rumors that Phaedra Parks, formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, was approached by Married to Medicine producers to be on the show because she is, quote, dating a doctor. She talked a little bit about her dating someone on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. She also talked about this on during BravoCon. And she revealed that she's dating a doctor. She's been dating him for about a year. The kids have met him, blah, blah, blah. Sidebar, congratulations to Apollo Nida. He finally married that woman. And all of you are trashing their wedding. Well, they got married back in October. I don't care. She stood by him while he was in prison. I'm glad he finally married her. We've seen her a little bit on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We even saw them on Love Match Atlanta. Remember that? We were like, look at Apollo on Love Match Atlanta. Okay, congratulations to Apollo. He seems to be, you know, doing what he needs to do. But then again, when we were watching him on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he had just gotten out of prison and we were like, oh, he seems like he's doing what he needs to do. I wish the best for him, for those boys that he has to raise. Okay? But congratulations to Apollo. All right. So, Phaedra. So, there's rumors that Phaedra is going to be joining the Real House. No. But we'll get to that. That she's going to be joining Married to Medicine. So, according to the Jasmine brand and All About the Tea, they were reporting that she was approached, or there were conversations about her being back on the network. We already know she was on Ultimate Girls Trip in season 2. Now we know she's going to be a part of the Marrakesh season 4 that's happening. So they've been trying to bring Phaedra back. I don't know if you noticed that they've been testing her out. They're trying to see how you guys feel about her. So many of you have mixed feelings about her because of what went down on season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we already knew it was like, oh, she's not going to come back because Candy's on there. Well, according to Carlos King and according to his exclusive sources, Phaedra, okay. According to Carlos, he can confirm that she was approached to return for this current season that they're filming. And according to the Jasmine Brand's report, they were saying that she wanted too much money to return, so they considered her for this other show, Married to Medicine, because what she was considering, they had the budget to cover her there. But here's the thing, and I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again because I haven't changed my feelings on it. I don't want to see Phaedra on Married to Medicine because she's dating a doctor and she barely wants to even share who this man is. Have we even seen a picture? Is he real? I don't trust Phaedra, so I don't know. Wait, hold on. I don't even know what... Damn, I don't even know what to play. I don't know what to play with Phaedra. So she's dating a doctor. She's been dating this doctor for over a year. However, I could care less. Upgrade that young lady from the lawyer from last season and her dentist husband. Upgrade them, producers. They were great. They were a cute couple. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, she was trying too hard. You say that about everybody. Okay? No, I want to see you upgrade them and bring them full time. Well, word on the street, the only reason why she wasn't full time is because of scheduling and she wasn't really able to devote a lot of time to filming. But bringing Phaedra on Married to Medicine just because you want to try and fit her back in the network, I'm not that interested. But that's me. That's me. Everyone feels differently. I feel like there are mixed reactions to Phaedra possibly coming back. There are some people like, bring Phaedra back. I miss her. Oh, no. And some of you want to see how she would interact with Quad. But I don't want to see Quad back. Sorry, Quad. I know you need the job. But Quad, let's not forget what she tried to stir this season about Toya. Like, those are some serious allegations. And I honestly don't feel like she brought a lot. We have her on this trip with the husbands and the wives. She just sort of is like there. And I'm like, I'd much rather say, a lot of you have been asking for Quad to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Honestly, she knows those ladies. She lives in Atlanta. I could see Quad on Atlanta. I don't really, it feels like she's out of the loop on Married to Medicine. I didn't mind her this season. I thought she was, it was cute. We had some cute moments, but that's me. Oh, see, thank you, Derek. Derek says, am I the only one that thought Phaedra on boot camp was a fake relationship? Nope. I thought the same thing because everything about Phaedra has been fake for years. You remember how we were introduced to her? She didn't even know the math for her pregnancy. Conveniently, we know why she was pretending like she didn't know the math. She's been lying to us for years, but I said yesterday in my coverage of the story, I said, well, there are a lot of housewives. This is what makes them great housewives. The shady, just confusion of it all. But Phaedra has been a little beyond just shady. And I think if we had paid attention to the shadiness a long time ago, we probably wouldn't have gotten to season 9 and what went down in season 9. She was showing us her, ways for a long time. But Phaedra, if you're watching or someone clip this and send it to her, when you go to Marrakesh, this is a real good opportunity to show yourself, to talk about this doctor, to talk about more about yourself and have a good time. I don't need more than, oh, yes, oh, yeah. No, we need to see you show up because although people loved seeing Phaedra on Ultimate Girls Trip, she gave us nothing. We didn't get an update on her life. Even when she was confronted with why she was fired, she didn't even answer it. So Phaedra, give us something on Ultimate Girls Trip 4, please. And then we will consider you for Married to Medicine. I still don't want to see her Married to Medicine though. Because it feels forced. It feels forced. I don't believe this relationship. And I'm not even sure she's going to even really share this relationship. But that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Look, you don't have to agree with me. Okay. Speaking of forced, let's talk about Below Deck Adventure. Okay. Oh, damn. Let me take a picture off of them. Below Deck Adventure. So Below Deck Adventure is a spinoff from Below Deck. We talked about Below Deck, the newest episode, newest season on Tuesday Takeover. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. I did add timestamps. Look, I'm busy, but I did add timestamps to that, and I'll try today to add timestamps to this live. All right. So Below Deck Adventure is growing on me. It's still I'm still not in love with this cast, but it's growing on me. And the hair situation from this week's episode with the Chef Jessica, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with this woman. Because at first I said, she's a normal chef. She seemed like, normally when we watch Below Deck, the chefs are usually a little, woo. But she seemed normal at first. And I liked her. But it seemed like the pressure of being on the show and not really delivering necessarily is catching up with her. But why are we from the jump, these folks are finding hair first of all, they found a bug in their greeting wine. And then they started finding hair in the food. And then when, what's her name, brought the food to the chef, I'm like, oh, there was a hair in there. And she's like, I always wear my hair back. I mean, your hair will still fall out. And she says, they insist on wearing their hair out and doing all the things. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, whose hair do you think it was? Not only did they find hair in one of the, I guess like the opening starter or whatever, then they found hair later again in the pork chop. Not the pork chop. That would have turned me off if not only once we found hair, but now we're finding hair again. Someone needs to put on a hairnet. But when she brought the food back to her, and she's just like, oh, and then add a little cheese on top, and then, okay. Are you serious? But let's be honest. This is why people say never send food back at a restaurant, because you don't know what they're doing in the back. They could be spitting in your food. All right. I don't know whose hair it is, but they need to figure it out. And this tip is going to probably be dismal. And deservedly so. Why am I finding hair in my food on a luxury yacht? And then we find out, and I feel bad for these people because they're going to watch this and then see later that she just took the hair out the food and put a little cheese on top and a little garnish. I mean, I'm already a little grossed out by the chefs always, preparing food with their bare hands. But I'm assuming that they're washing their hands constantly. I don't know how I feel about Chef Jessica, though. I don't know how I feel about her, especially this week in the hair situation. I don't even know if it's necessarily her hair. It could be anyone's hair. It could even be the guest's hair. But the fact that now we have a trend of finding hair in the food, no. Sidebar, Captain Carrie, why were you yelling at Nate the way that you were yelling at Nate? Look, Nate is really trying. But I also feel like Lewis is a terrible bosun and a terrible leader. I just didn't love how Captain Carrie, and I get it. He's saying it's a hazard, it's dangerous. But the level of anger that he showed Nate, I don't see you showing that to the bosun that's supposed to be training his people. Why are you saving it for Nate? You need to give it to Lewis, who's a terrible bosun. Faye's not a great chief stew either. She's not really great, and she's not very entertaining, and she's not a really great leader. She's also having a battle with the deck crew as well because she wants their help. My thing at the end of the day, it's not like they get separate tips. So if one department needs your help, you should be helping because you're all getting a group tip. No one's getting a separate tip from these. I mean, it's happened before where a person will get a separate tip. We've seen that on Below Deck before. But normally it's a group tip. So wait, Bing, I just saw this. Bing says they should copy your hairstyle, Kempire. Really? I mean, I guess a hairnet is not very fashionable in a luxury yacht. But at the very least, the chef should be wearing a hairnet because if she was wearing a hairnet, then we wouldn't have this problem. You could already say, it's not me, I have a hairnet on. It's you ladies. But she's saying, I wear my hair back. But even with her hair back, there's hair like... Honestly, I think it's Casey. You know, the one who has the Dorit accent? I think it's her. Have you noticed her hair? It's a little... Just saying. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Bravo's newest series, Below Deck Adventure. I haven't really been loving it, but it's gotten a little bit better as we approach, towards the end of the season. I think it's really about the cast. It's not about the charter guests. I mean, the charter guests haven't been that great. These ladies seem a lot more fun that are on the charter this episode. I just don't love this cast. I don't love this cast. Like, there's no one that really stands out to me like, oh, yeah, great personality, very funny. They're saving the situation. No, none of them, really. Nate's great. Nate's a hard worker, but he's not incredibly entertaining either. Captain Carrie is not a really interesting captain either. But I'm still watching. I'm still watching because I love Below Deck. I might have to just scrap it and just get into Below Deck Med and really catch up on that season because I really want to know more about that because so many of you love Below Deck Med more than any of them. But if you missed our recap of Below Deck, this week's episode, be sure to check out our Tuesday Takeover. If you're here today, this is our Thursdays, where we cover, very much like on Tuesday Takeover, a mix of reality TV news, and pop culture news. So before we get into the Golden Globes and what went down at the Golden Globes and some of the backlash Jerrod Carmichael is experiencing, we have to talk about one of my other favorite shows. And this is, I've been very critical of some of the Bravo shows. However, I am really enjoying Love Without Borders. Where's my Love Without Borders promo? Look, I'm enjoying my Love Without Borders. I think Love Without Borders is actually a really great show. It's from the producers of Love is Blind, and it kind of gives me the 90 Day Fiancé situation where these Americans actually travel abroad, and here's the difference, though. They have a matchmaker that coordinates the matching, okay? So that's the difference. I'm still learning the names, but the people that stand out to me are probably the most problematic, or the people I really like. But I'll say this. Chandra and Naeem, I don't see them making it. I see them probably being friends. She needs probably therapy because she's talking about the amount of abuse that she's gone through. And she still had like that door where the guy punched a hole in it. And she hadn't been with that guy in a while. And she still left it there. So him being a social worker and really having he understands mental health. He understands therapy. I like how he approached it. He's like, would it be okay if I get this door fixed? Remember, when we were first with these two, she was dancing with her ex. She disinvited him from the holiday at her family's house. Like, things weren't working out. But Erica, the matchmaker and I believe therapist, she's like, you've got to try. Here are some tools to try. So they're trying. I don't see them being a romantic relationship. I do see them probably being friends after this. But I liked what we got from them this week because I felt like, you know what? This is sweet what he's doing. This is sweet that she's trying. I just don't see it working. But you never know. You know how editing is. We don't see it working this week. Next week, they're madly in love. And then we're like, oh my God, I'm so in love with them. Okay. You know who I cannot stand, though? Gurleen. Gurleen reminds me of this one. Alyssa from Married at First Sight. We jumped the shark with Married at First Sight. I still love the show, but I haven't been recapping it. But we did recap that season. And Gurleen, literally, basically, this is not working out. This is not working out with this Indian guy living in Dubai. We're not going to rehash everything that's happened. But basically, they tell Erica, yeah, it's not working out. And Erica's just like, well, you know what? Your mental health is important to me. So we will send you home. And she's like, well, I needed to be clear that you're not sending me home because of my mental health. You're sending me home because that this didn't work out. And I'm like, you're fighting the lady. You're fighting the lady on the reason why you're going home. I felt so bad for him. And I said this before, I feel like she was finding every reason not to like this guy. I don't know what it is, but we always say this too. The reason why some of these people go on these shows is because they are the problem. This is why they can't have a relationship. Gurleen needs, she has some, look, I'm not saying her discussion about human rights or women's rights in Dubai is incorrect, but it felt as if she was trying to find any reason to have a problem with this man. And it turned out she was the problem. So much so when Erica was like, we're going to send you home, she's like, I need to talk to producers separately. And then she spoke to the producer, came in, went into her room, locked the door, packed her stuff, and left. Didn't even say goodbye to this man. And mind you, the man's family was like, oh, we loved her. She was so... Yeah, because she knows how to get along with families. Like, she gets that. But when it comes... And this is a lot of people. A lot of people can be great friends, but if you were in a relationship with them, you're like, oh my God, you are a terrible human being in a relationship because you're so demanding, you're so controlling, you have no concept of there are other people in this relationship. You don't even know how to compromise. And that's Gerline. But I have to say, as soon as I saw Gerline and I saw her behavior, I thought of this lady. I thought of Alyssa. I mean, I don't think she's as bad as Alyssa, because Alyssa was bad. If you remember Married at First Sight, Alyssa was bad. I'm such a good person. Remember that? I'm such a good person. All right. We'll move on. We'll move on from that couple. What's the other couple that I wanted to talk about? Okay. I do want to talk about Aaron and Mael. We didn't get a lot of them this week. We did get them possibly breaking up. Last week we thought that Mael and Aaron were going to break up. However, it seems as if after their conversation with Erica that they're not going to. And I said to you before, Aaron seems emotionally immature. But I also think that he's not emotionally just immature. I think he's just immature. But they're going to try and work it out. They start doing art, and the emotionally immature, the immature one, Aaron, decides, I'm going to draw a penis. Mind you, he hooked up with Mael and then started acting funny. That's like that's the worst thing a person can do, is open up to you, you be physical, and all of a sudden you want to act different the next day. Because then they start thinking, like, what happened? Now you got the goodies and now you don't want the goodies no more. And you, what? But they try to work on it. Like I said, I don't see it working. I feel as if there are little things that I pay attention to. When Erica called them on FaceTime and she's like, bonjour. And Mael's like, bonjour. This one, he's not even trying to learn French. You could at the very least say bonjour back. Look, he's not even trying. I don't see him. I just don't see this relationship working. I don't see Aaron saying, I'm going to stay in France to be with Mael. And it might not have anything to do with Mael or his personality. I don't think, first of all, France it's already, listen to my podcast with Grace Report. It's not an easy adjustment. You don't even know which country is France. You're not trying to learn French, and you might not have an interest, which is fine. But if you really like this person, you think you would try a little bit. Aaron is all over the place. He's still trying to find himself, which is fine, Aaron. There's nothing wrong with trying to find yourself. But understand, when you're trying to find yourself, that's not the time to get into a relationship, especially not with someone abroad. Mael, I hope you find someone cute and someone that's in France. Because I think Mael, I don't even know the age difference between these two. They're probably around the same age. Mael is far more mature than Aaron. Aaron has a lot of growing up to do, but Aaron also just reminds me of a lot of guys from where he's from that are newly out of the closet, and you could go draw your penis with somebody else. Okay. It was weird. Heather says, I really adore Mael. Me too. Because he's putting himself out there. He just seems a lot more mature than Aaron, and I can see how that would be frustrating later on. But Mael's thinking, the fact that he's drawing penises, that he's flirting with him, maybe, or maybe he's just a little, what? This is going to turn to Kempire After Dark. Okay. All right. I do want to talk about some of the other couples. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Thirsty Thursdays, where we talk about a variety of reality TV and reality TV news and pop culture news. Right now, we're talking about Love Without Borders. It's a new show on Bravo from the producers of Love is Blind on Netflix. Sidebar. I've heard this, the theme music for White Lotus? It's been playing in my head. Even right now, it's playing in my head. It's addictive. We'll talk more about White Lotus in a second because I'm rewatching it. But let's stay on task here. All right. Let me go back to, where's the other my cast photo of these folks? All right. So the young lady that's in Galway, Ireland with this guy, I don't see it working, honestly. I think she has I'm always a little hesitant whenever I see someone come on this show and start singing, because it makes me think to myself, are you here for the right reasons? I don't know about this couple. I don't know about this relationship. They're the ones in the top far left. I don't see this relationship working out in the end. He originally said he wasn't attracted to her. I think she's talented. I like seeing her perform on the streets of Galway. I don't see it lasting though. There's no relationship here that I see actually lasting. Maybe with this new woman that Erica's bringing to Dubai for, I forgot his name, I apologize. The guy in Dubai that Gurleen was trying to get to know. She's going to bring him a new potential mate. All right? So, okay. Oh, Lord. This couple, the black couple in Ghana. Some of you were telling me, because I was trying to figure out if I should go to Ghana or South Africa. Some of you were like, go to Ghana in December. But isn't Ghana in December is when everybody goes to Ghana? I don't want to go when everybody goes. Can y'all be a little bit more specific? Can I go when everyone's already retreated back to the United States? I don't want to go when everybody named Mama's in Ghana. All right? I want to enjoy Ghana with the Ghanaians. Just saying. So here's where I was a little triggered during their scenes this week, okay? I don't think this couple's going to work out. She likes to party. I mean, I thought he seemed like he'd like to party, but he had been taking a social media break and a drinking break. And she's like, oh, you're not going to drink? I like someone that drinks with me, blah, blah, blah. I always say this because I don't drink. I always feel like people think I'm judging drinkers, but I feel like I'm judged more by people that don't drink. I mean, that drink, about me not drinking. And I get it. You probably don't want me to see you in your kind of situation. But he feels the pressure and he ends up drinking. And ends up getting left by, she ends up going to party. Oh, it's 1:11. Make a wish, y'all. Here on the East Coast. I don't see that relationship working. Someone says, Tanzania, delicious. I do want to go to Tanzania. Remember, I think it was with, we were talking about 90 Day Fiance and they were in Tanzania and I was like, oh, Tanzania is beautiful. Look beautiful. There's so many places in Africa. And this is why I haven't gotten to Africa because I'm like, where do I go first? There's so many places. I might do South Africa first. But if I do South Africa, I can do another country, right? Stay tuned. Hold on. Zawaki, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize if I'm not. She says, come to our South Africa. You won't regret. Cape Town to be specific. Well, some people were saying that there were power issues in there, but they were like, you're not going to have issues with that because you'll be staying at a hotel. I was like, all right. You just never know what people will say on Twitter specifically. Shout out to Twitter. Hey, Twitter, what's going on? Sidebar, guys, don't forget we've launched a new YouTube channel just for our shorts that we'll be putting on there, like our short content. We'll be putting it on there, so be sure to subscribe. Quite a few have already subscribed as well. Mods, aka King Scars. If you can just drop the link, or you guys can just go to youtube.com /@ Kempire Shorts. All right? Okay. Let me take a sip. I don't see any of these relationships on Love Without Borders is going to work, but I still enjoy the show. I don't care that they're not going to work out. I still enjoy, not this group. Sorry, y'all. I still enjoy the show, though. I don't think any of them are going to work. Because you know what? Here's the thing. Finding the person that you're going to mesh well with is hard enough. And then to add the whole other premise of they live in a foreign land, so you also have to get adjusted to that as well. I don't see it working, but I'm going to continue to watch because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Guys, we have almost 900 people on YouTube alone watching our recap, our Thirsty Thursday recap. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel or other people's channels. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and take a sip. All right. We talked about Love Without Borders. We talked about Below Deck. Before we get into our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, I want to talk a little bit about the Golden Globes. So the Golden Globes happened, what's today? Thursday, on Tuesday, right? It was Tuesday? I can't keep up. So the Golden Globes happened, and there were a lot of moments, and I saw mixed reactions when I did a story yesterday talking about it, and I talked about some highlights from it yesterday. So I'm not going to rehash some of those highlights, including Eddie Murphy winning. Well, not winning. He was honored at the Golden Globes. He gave a fantastic speech. He surprised us by mentioning Will Smith. That was hilarious. But also looking back at Eddie Murphy's career, it's like, damn, he really is a legend. You know, they throw those words around, but no, Eddie Murphy is a legend and an icon. He's able to do comedy. He's able to sing. He's able to do musicals. He's able to do drama. He really is good. Really, really good. So he was honored. But one of the things that I didn't mention yesterday was about our girl, Angela Bassett. So Angela Bassett won her second Golden Globe. The last Golden Globe that she won was in like 1990 something for What's Love Got to Do with It. And when they were announcing the winners, they would say, you know, this person's been nominated this amount of times. This is the amount of times they've won. She's been nominated twice. Really? Twice? Only twice? You know how many legendary movies and TV shows she's been in? And you're like, first of all, The Jacksons, that should have been nominated. Remember when she did the movie The Jacksons? She's done so many different things. First of all, this is a 60-something-year-old woman. Let me just show you the picture again. This is a 60-something-year-old woman. Her speech was incredible. I love how she honored the Marvel fans at the end, the way she honored Chadwick Boseman as well. This marked the first time a Marvel movie won in a major category, a lead actress or actor category. So congratulations to her for that. But I was more shocked at the fact that I was like, wait, she's been nominated only twice? Did they see her in Coven? Look, there's so many movies that she's been in, that you're movies and TV shows, because you know Golden Globes is not just movies, it's TV shows as well. I was like, she's been nominated twice? Only? But every time she was nominated, she won. Speaking of Coven, Ryan Murphy was also honored, and I didn't get a chance to see his speech until yesterday. But let me tell you something. I mean, there are all kinds of things you can say about Ryan Murphy, whatever. You might not like his latest projects, whatever. This man has been around such a long time, but his speech had me in tears because he made his, I've never seen this before. And look, I haven't seen all the award shows. However, this was probably the one time that I saw someone use their moment to celebrate others. And he didn't have to do this because he's already celebrated and given platforms to so many people. His speech, I implore you, if you did not see his speech, go watch it because it was incredible. He gave MJ Rodriguez her moment because you remember it wasn't a in-person event. He gave her her moment and she looked incredible. He celebrated Billy Porter. He celebrated so many of the people that he's given opportunity. That's the thing about Ryan Murphy. He uses a lot of the same actors. So if he has a good relationship with you, you're going to see some of the same actors over and over again. Congratulations to Evan Peters. He won for the Jeffrey Dahmer movie series, that they did on Netflix. He's an incredible actor. I definitely see an Oscar in his future. But Ryan Murphy has given platforms and opportunities, including to people like Angela Bassett. She was the one who did the voiceover for, the video package for his award, his celebration. And I was like, oh my God, I just love the sound of her voice. Oh my God, she needs to do more voiceovers. I mean, she's an incredible actress, but her voice, he gave her an opportunity. There are a lot of actors, even Jennifer Coolidge. Her speech, I'll get to her speech in a second. I didn't expect her speech to say what we all were thinking about her career. what we probably thought. Like, you know, we see her as a side character for so long. She said there were so many people in that room, specifically like 5 people, that kept her going when times were tough. Gave her different opportunities. She even gave a spoiler. I don't want to give you guys a spoiler of what happens in season 2 of White Lotus, but that was such a great opportunity for her. She won an Emmy. She's won now a Golden Globe. She was hilarious when she was presenting an award and when she won. She was hilarious. It was a beautiful, beautiful speech that she gave. But Ryan Murphy's speech, wow. Like I said, I did not expect him to use that moment that people were celebrating him, that he celebrated everyone else. Oh my God, he went down the whole roster of people, both in front, you know, the actors, the crew, but he celebrated what those moments meant to the actors and what it would mean to those particular communities, the LGBT community, the Black community. I loved it. But the way he ended it, because it's the Carol Burnett award that was named in honor of Carol Burnett, and he's worked with her before. He ended it by celebrating Carol Burnett's grandmother. Like Ryan Murphy, if I didn't respect you before, you have my utmost respect, because that probably has been one of the most incredible speeches of someone that's being honored, that really just sort of like made it about everyone else. I've never seen that, and I thought that was a beautiful moment. And it also reminded you all the careers he's helped, you know, uplift. Congratulations, Ryan Murphy. I mean, I still don't love American Horror Story, the New York one, which should have been a lot better. Sorry, look. You know I'm transparent. But there have been a lot of really great American Horror Stories, but just not this season. Just not this season. Congratulations to the cast of Abbott Elementary. Well deserved. They won 3 awards at the Golden Globes. Well deserved. They've also been renewed for season 3, and I said they need to renew them for season 4, 5, 6, and 7. The show is good. But if you're not familiar with Quinta Brunson, you're probably familiar with her meme from years ago where like, he got money. Look how far she's come. That was just a meme. She was an up-and-coming, you know, comedian. She's done a couple of things since then. But Abbott Elementary is huge. Is huge. And it's not even just about her. It's an incredible cast. Incredible cast. So congratulations to Abbott Elementary and to the entire cast, production, and crew. Who else did I want to talk about? Okay. Everybody that went on this stage mentioned Brad Pitt. Well, Brad Pitt, first of all, at one point, Brad Pitt didn't look like he was aging well. I think maybe he stopped drinking. I don't know. But Brad Pitt, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Look at those teeth. Look at that skin. He's aging gracefully. And that doesn't mean he doesn't get a little Botox or something. I don't know. But I'm just saying it doesn't mean he doesn't. But whatever he's doing, it's graceful. He looks good. You notice how he's looking better since he got away from that woman. I kid. But you notice how every person that went on stage were like, hey, Brad Pitt. Oh, including my girl. She was, we need her to, Regina Hall, please. I saw a tweet where someone says that they want to see a buddy comedy with Regina Hall and Jennifer Coolidge, and I'm here for that. But Regina Hall is just so naturally funny. She was great during the Oscars. I hope they bring her back to host something else. Regina Hall, I mean, she's been around a long time, okay? She's been around a long time. Congratulations to The Best Man, the final series that's on Peacock. Okay, Peacock, run me a check. But it broke all kinds of records, and all of you said it was incredible. I have not watched it yet. I've just been busy watching everything else. I did rewatch The Best Man and Best Man Holiday. So now I'm going to watch that. So stay tuned next week. We'll talk about it. Or maybe we'll just do it for members only. Just saying. Shout out to my members. Guys, if you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. All right. But Regina Hall's, she was just presenting an award. She was just presenting an award. Kevin Costner won, and she's like, he's sheltering in place. She couldn't even help herself. She's like, he's sheltering in place in Santa Barbara. I love you, Regina Hall. So incredible. So funny. Again, Jennifer Coolidge, funny. Her presenting an award and her winning an award. But her winning an award was a beautiful moment because she's what, 60 something years old as well? And she's been in this business. She really became very transparent during her speech, saying that, you know, without some of these folks that were giving me these little opportunities, they really carried me through. Carried me through. At the end of the day, a lot of these actors are like, I'm just grateful to be a working actor, because you can say you're an actor, but you don't have any jobs. And there are, and Ryan Murphy, I'm sure a lot of people say the same thing about Ryan Murphy. She did mention Ryan Murphy giving her opportunities as well. Mike White was so emotional seeing her speech. Can we bring her back? Look, there's got to be a way to bring, okay, spoiler alert, whatever. Can we just bring her back to White Lotus for season 3? Maybe as her twin to solve the murder? Well, it wasn't a murder. The accident murder plot. And bring back Belinda. Season 1. All right. White Lotus is incredible if you haven't seen it. Season 1 and 2. All right. Shout out to all of you guys. Let me say thank you. We got to cut a few super chats, guys. Let me say thank you. Keisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Keisha says, just because you catch the Holy Ghost on the regular and I'm at work when you go live, love the show. Do I catch the Holy Ghost? Keisha, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you guys so much for supporting and sneaking me in while you watch at work. I just spoke to my old boss from my corporate job earlier today. I was like, life is good. Stephanie, thank you so much for the super chat. Stephanie says, that part, Kempire, Phaedra's been lying since we met her. Since we met her. You remember the crazy math? You remember when Nene's reaction? She was like, shut up. Oh, I do miss Nene. I miss those days of Nene. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Daniel says, she showed her true colors when she read Kenya, evil, angry, jealous, low, and gutter. A true Scorpio. Speaking of Scorpios, Brandy Glanville was on Watch What Happens Live yesterday, and she was talking about some of the people that she met at BravoCon. I can't believe we're still talking about BravoCon, but a lot happened that weekend. She says that Craig, I don't know Craig. I know the name, but there were certain people like Winter House, Summer House, certain people that I don't watch that had incredible like people like following them. And she says that Craig was acting like he was some sort of celebrity. Oh, Brandy, were you mad because people weren't reacting that way to you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. But she was lovely when I met her. Don't get me wrong. Thirsty. She was definitely thirsty. She wants to work, and I don't blame her. She also said that Whitney was acting a little weird. She felt like her husband was, she felt like Brandy might have been flirting with her husband. And she was just like, oh. All right. I think it's a perfect segue to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Guys, you will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on any of what we've been talking about. If you're a member of the channel, I will be dropping the calling link on the community tab. First for Senior Royals, then for Royal Court members, and then for Team Kempire members. For those of you that are in the chat, let's get to 500 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for the general chat as well. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but your channel or other channels. They will start showing up on your algorithm when you start liking content like ours. A lot of our content is similar. People that you never even, I'm discovering people, I'm like, wow, I never knew this person, but I watch different things. I don't really watch what I do. I watch like real estate. I watch tech. I watch, oh, I just moved to New York. Mind you, I live in New York. I just moved to New York. Look at my new beautiful apartment. I'm like, the gentrification of it all. But it's what it is. I mean, a lot of you want me to start doing more vlogging, especially with my travels and things like that. I really want to. Please trust and believe my intention is to do that. I even brought a camera when I went on my Denmark trip. I just didn't do it. I mean, I took some stuff, but I'm already doing a lot. I think that's what it is. If I start lessening up what I'm doing, I think I could probably do. I do want to do vlogging because I have a lot to say. I love to talk. All right. Oh, Art World says Whitney's husband looks like that little sad poor girl from Trolls. Who is that? Let me see something. Oh yeah, Brandy's going to also be on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip again in Marrakesh. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because of Marrakesh, and there are going to be some new housewives added in the mix. I'm here. We're probably going to get an announcement about Ultimate Girls Trip very soon. I'm thinking a lot of things are going to be going down in February, so stay tuned for that. Oh wait, rewinding just a little bit back before we move on from Golden Globes. I did want to talk about the situation with Jerrod Carmichael. So Jerrod Carmichael made a joke about, I'm not going to say about Whitney Houston, but he mentioned Whitney Houston's name because he's like, they're telling me I need to mention, the place that we're having the awards show. Okay. And he referenced Whitney Houston. He says, so we are here live from the hotel that killed Whitney Houston, the Beverly Hilton. And some people were like, "Oh no, he's not making a joke about Whitney. He's making a joke about this hotel and other things, a bigger issue." Well, according to sources, following the joke, a rep for Pat Houston, the singer's sister-in-law and longtime manager, told TMZ on Wednesday the Whitney Houston estate is disappointed in the joke and felt it was in poor taste. I agree. And look, Jerrod Carmichael has a hard job. There are some people that don't even know who he is, and there are also just there are certain comedians that people just don't jive with. Being a comedian is a hard job. You have your people that love you, and then you'll have your people that, like, I don't like, I love Dave Chappelle. You know what I mean? I thought he did a solid job. I didn't love that joke because I just felt like some of the jokes were like, or went over people's heads. So I didn't like the Whitney Houston joke because I love me some Whitney. Just saying. Hold on, y'all. Excuse me. Okay. So it says Pat Houston's TV. I know. Coming from Pat Houston, you're like, But anyways, we'll move on. Let's move on to Salt Lake City. So yesterday, I also did a story talking about, when I was talking about the Phaedra situation, I was also talking about Andy Cohen. So Andy Cohen went on his radio program and was talking about doing a one-on-one interview with Jen Shah. And I told you my thoughts. Look, I have no problem with Andy Cohen doing a one-on-one with Jen. But he said this in the same breath of talking about and reading the victim statements. He's like, well, and then casually says, well, I'm going to try this weekend to, interview Jen Shah, get a camera crew and everything like that. And I was like, you really want to? Here's the thing. No one's interested in an interview with Jen Shah. Okay, at this point, because I don't think people believe anything that's coming out of her mouth. It was different before she pled guilty, but everything since then, all the court documents and everything like that, has revealed a lot about Jen Shah. Okay, so we get the finale last night. All right. And a lot of people were like, what is going on with this finale? I have to say, though, the finale for me was far better than the entire season. I'm glad they kept the finale, like the actual finale part, short. And then they gave us what happened in New York. We already knew that this was coming. I think based off the ratings and people's reactions to the whole situation, they decided to cut the season short. I mean, we already had like a 30 episode season 2. So they decided to cut the season short. This is what I believe. I don't know if this is necessarily true. I believe they decided to cut the season short. Word on the street, according to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV on Twitter, according to their sources, they're saying that this reunion will only be 2 parts. I said 1 part too many, but I get it. They have time slots to sales advertisers to fulfill. All right. So, but Jen Shah will not be there. As I said, Andy Cohen's going to try and do a one-on-one with her. To say what? To say what? What is she going to say? Another lie? like she said in this episode? All right, before we get to what she says in this episode, let's talk about this episode. So this episode starts from the top of, okay, we're planning a book party. The Bad Mormon, which I always said, Bad Mormon is such a great title. I thought the idea of it was great until we find out, like, what is it really saying? We don't even know what's even in it. We don't even know what's in it because this book party really was just sort of a book cover reveal party. And a choir practice. I mean, for you to put together a choir, they sounded horrible. Maybe because Jen Shaw was in it. You saw Jen Shaw in her confessional singing. And a lot of you are really upset because we got a trailer where Dana says to her, I forgot what the exact situation was, but basically saying that, what did she say? I forgot exactly what she said, but you know what she said if you saw the trailer, what Dana says about putting money on her books when she goes to jail. So a lot of people are upset. That was cut out. Honestly, I'm not upset. I get why they probably cut it out, because if they left that in, then it's just more unfinished business that's not going to be resolved at the reunion between Dana and Jen Shaw. So normally they cut out stuff and you're like, why did they cut that out? And blah, blah. I get why here they decided to cut it out, because it's like, it's not going to be resolved. Sidebar, I do think there was more behind that, because I think this issue between Dana and Jen Shaw was going to be a little bit more this season. And I believe Jen Shaw was going to drop some information to the blogs about Dana. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes and why that was never dropped. Maybe because their beef was pretty much edited out. Look. So I'm thinking maybe that's part of it as well, along with we're wrapping up the season. We're not going to even include that anymore. But a lot of you wanted that drop the bomb moment with Dana. A lot of you wanted that. I did too, but if this is a season finale and they're trying to wrap things up, it's just not going to make sense, especially if you're trying to also include what happened in New York. And remind you that there's a lot of time between what happens in New York and that book party. So we wrap up the season. We get Coordinator Shaw there. Here's the thing, Angie K, I want to see upgraded. I do, and I never say that. She showed a lot of promise. She showed a lot of promise in these last couple of episodes. And her confronting Jen. Jen is going around telling people that Angie K is the one that gave Heather the black eye. At this point, Heather, we don't care about that black eye. But Angie K says that maybe Jen is the one who gave it to her when they were scissoring. And I know people are probably coming at Angie K today because of her bringing up, the whole, was it even true about the offing herself situation? But a lot of you, when we were talking about that episode, called in and says, I believe she's using that to manipulate people because she knows if people are not going to question that she tried to off herself and or question her mental health. But I'm glad that Angie K was brave enough to do it, because here's the thing. Someone that has been accused of lying, that has been convicted of lying, that has shown time after, I do believe that Jen Shaw has mental health issues, in my opinion. However, I do also believe that she's a narcissist and used that specific thing because she knew people would never question it, except Angie K did. Because a lot of you questioned it. And even just the look of Jen's face when she brought it up to Whitney, we were all like, look at this narcissist trying to use this as a weapon to shut people down. And it wouldn't have been the first time. She's used her race to shut people down. But in the same breath, it's calling people an Oreo. So excuse me if I don't want to see a one-on-one with Jen Shaw, because she's just going to lie to us. Jen Shaw is just going to continue to lie. And here's the thing. I really think it's clinical. I don't think she can help herself. She probably lives in this whole alternate world where she is the queen and everything is working out for her. She might really have some issues. And I hope she gets help for them. I really do. You know who I want to see a one-on-one with, though? Stuart Smith. No, Stuart's just as bad. Lock him up. But in this episode alone, she tells Heather and Meredith once, they come to New York to support her. This is before they find out that she's going to plead guilty. She says, he turned on me. I helped him, feed his family, and he set me up. And even Heather's like, I'm not believing it. I don't believe that. The man that used to fetch your tampons, and I don't believe it. He set you up. He was the mastermind. No. I mean, if you look at the court documents, it's very clear that they both had very much a hand in this whole situation. Stuart Smith, Stu Chainz, has not even been sentenced yet. I wonder how many months he will get in prison. If remember, he pled before she did. I think he might end up getting definitely less than she does. But I don't think that Stu Chainz set her up. I believe that she was very much aware of the Southern District of New York saw her as the person at the top. Keep that in mind. She will say one thing. She wouldn't want to put this out on this show. But keep in mind what the court documents are saying. The Southern District of New York saw her as the top of the chain. Yes, Stuart Smith was facing more years. But keep in mind, the reason why he was facing more years is because he was doing all the dirty work. He was doing all the grunt work, which put him more exposed. Yep. Look, yep. And although I'm being facetious when I say I want to see a one-on-one with Stu Chainz, I kind of want to know. Look. I just want to know his side. I don't think he will do an interview until he's sentenced at the very least, because he doesn't want to jeopardize his sentence. But I want to hear his side, because she's really used the show to make it seem like he was the one that set her up and turned on her. I mean, anything's possible, but I don't think so. The Southern District of New York did their due diligence. They have a lot of information that is revealed in the court documents, including Coordinator Shaw. There's some information in those text message exchanges that almost implicate Coordinator Shaw, but he wasn't the target. He kept enough distance from what she was doing that the Southern District of New York didn't implicate him in this situation. But I do believe he knows a lot more. Well, according to Heather in this episode, she feels as if they saw what was revealed in these court documents, and that's why she changed her plea. At one point during her lunch with Lisa Barlow, sidebar, Lisa Barlow's like, during the book party, Lisa Barlow's like, why don't you have a book? At least at a Vita Tequila event, you're going to have Vita Tequila, which is true. We just can't find Vita Tequila outside of a Vita Tequila event.
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
That's what I thought. I was like, yeah, you'll find it at a Vita Tequila event, but you can't find it anywhere else. All right? Just saying. So in her conversation, in Lisa Barlow's conversation with Heather, Heather basically says, I believe that she did it. I believe she did it. We did see a scene with Heather and Jen where Jen is like, can you be there for my children? And of course, what is Heather going to say? No. Of course she's going to be there for the kids. We just wish you would have been there for the kids. Okay, let's talk about it. Even before we even get to New York, we get a scene with Jen Shaw and her mom. And then I'm reminded, I was like, wait, Jen Shaw's mom sold this, sold that to pay for her legal fees? And then she's hosting this big lavish dinner at this Italian restaurant of 20 people. Was your mother a part of the 20 people? And did your mother really sell off her retirement and things like that? Yet you're writing checks for $13,000 to give to Angie K. Angie, did you cash it? I was reminded. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Her mom even though I thought the conversation between her and her mom on her mom's side was beautiful when she said, when you go in there, you know what Polynesian people believe. Look, we believe it too. You call on the ancestors. And I believe her mom really thought her daughter was innocent. I feel bad for the mom and I feel bad for the boys. I don't feel bad for Coordinator Shaw because I feel like he knew a lot more. Wait a minute. You notice in the episode though where Heather is like, I feel as if Coordinator Shaw knew more and he's letting her take the... You notice that part where she said that? I was like, wait a minute. So you also think that Coordinator Shaw knew more and he's letting her take the heat and going to prison for this? Anyone else notice that? I thought that was interesting. That they would even say that. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Thirsty Thursdays where we cover a variety of reality TV. We originally was our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, but Salt Lake City this season was terrible. So we decided to make it a mashup of some of the reality shows that we don't get an opportunity to talk about separately, like Love Without Borders, like Below Deck Adventure. We've talked about so many other shows, even scripted television, like The White Lotus. So be sure to check out some of our past Tuesday takeovers and Thirsty Thursdays here on the channel. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to follow us on other social media platforms like Facebook. What's going on Facebook? I see you, Vicky. I see you, Shirley? I see you, Donna, as well, watching on Facebook. And hey, Kim, who's also watching on Facebook. And Nathia is also watching on Facebook. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily, and to our podcast Facebook channel, Kempire Radio Network, and subscribe to the Kempire Radio Podcast. A new episode came out last week, so be sure to check that out. The visual version will be coming out on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to there. And we've just launched the Kempire Shorts channel where we'll be posting all of our short content. So be sure to check that out. If you just want some hot topics or reality TV recaps in under a minute, head on over there and follow us and subscribe and comment and like all the videos. All right. Let me take a sip and let me just say thank you. Actually, before I say thank you, I do want to drop the call-in link for our Senior Royals first. So if you are a Senior Royals member, head on over to the community tab. I'm going to drop the call-in link there. Shout out to everyone watching from around the world. I saw you guys had dropped where you were watching from. Replay crew, per usual. Let me know where you're watching from and your thoughts on any of what we've talked about. Okay. All right. So Royal Court, Senior Royals first. I'm going to drop the call-in link. Ooh, there we go. All right. And I will say this, the White Lotus theme music is still playing in my head. Just saying. Look, just saying. Royal Court members, I'm going to drop the call link for you as well. And Team Kempire members, I will be dropping the call link for you in just a second on the community tab as well. Let me just take a sip. And again, guys, if you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. All right. Hey, Jules. Jules is watching as well on Facebook. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch and Twitter. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Kempire on Twitter and at The Kempire on TikTok. Normally, we're live backstage on TikTok. I just couldn't find my other phone. I just had it this morning. I don't know what happened. But back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. What else did I want to say about this? So she throws Stu Chainz under the bus, saying that he plotted and planned this, and he threw her under the bus, blah, 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 blah. And then we get that separate scene with Lisa Barlow and Heather talking about her pleading guilty. All right. And they were a little thrown by it as well. Oh, look, I'm thrown by how many people still believe Jen Shah. And also okay, hold on. Let me do a little poll before I start taking some callers. Let me just do a little poll because I want to know if you guys are interested because Bravo does watch. Okay, how y'all doing? Do you want to see a one-on-one interview with Jen Shah or Stu? Look, or I'll put I won't put Stuart. I'll do Stuart Smith and not Stu Chains. Okay, Jen, Stu. Who do you want to see an interview with, or do you want to see an interview with the victims? That's who you probably want to see more. All right, Jen Shah, Stuart Smith, or Jen's victims. All right, I'm gonna ask the community on YouTube. We're gonna have quite a few people backstage. If you're a Team Kempire member, I'm gonna drop the call link for you as well. Let's get to some callers so I can get out of here. Again, guys, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself or the Kempire LLC or YouTube/Google. Let me put up all of the disclaimers now. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, and shout out to everyone that sends in super chats, Venmos, PayPals, Cash Apps, all that. We do appreciate it. We normally see those after the live, so thank you. Oh, speaking of super chats, before we start taking our first callers, let me say thank you, Victoria. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, my husband worked with Jen back in the Prosper days. We had zero clues about the show and her fraud until December of 2022. Hanging out and working with her, we would have never guessed this would be her demise. Wait, y'all just found out about her situation? Victoria? Wow. Thank you for the super chat. Damn, you just never know who's watching. Judy, thank you so much for the super chat and for always supporting. She says, heading out to my niece's service. Needed this laughter before going, oh, I didn't know about your niece. I'm in a different kind of, oh, wait, what symbol is that? Scorpio, right? Okay, I'm a different kind of Scorpio, sending support. Get those likes up. Thank you, Judy. And sorry about your niece. Light Mission, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, the Carmichael's comedy reminds me of Ricky Gervais, who also hosted the Golden Globes, right? And people didn't like him either. I mean, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. What are you gonna do? All right. Let's get to some callers. Danielle's backstage. We're gonna bring her up first. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey, happy Thirsty Thursday.
Yes. What's going on?
So I only had 3 things to say until we saw Victoria's super chat, and I need Victoria to call in because one of the 3 things I have is about Jen. And like for assistant coach Shaw to have previously been an attorney, what was he advising her? Like, we know there are crooked attorneys out there, just like you got crooked police officers, you got crooked everyone. So we know he knew something, but as the husband and an attorney, like, come on, dude, you. And then for her to even come on the show, because remember they told us on the show that the FBI had been investigating her before she got on the show, and they already confronted her. Mm-hmm. So she was stupid to come on the show knowing you were already under investigation. And the attorney is not that bright either, or the coach is not that bright either, to allow his wife to go on this big old platform knowing that you're already under investigation. Like, that doesn't even make common sense. And Mama says sense ain't common. Okay. That's that. Now, you may have hit this, but I've been in the shower trying to listen to you and get ready at the same time. But I didn't hear it. So if you said it, I apologize. Angela Bassett was also the first Black female to win in her category ever.
Wow. I didn't say that part, but thank you for the reminder. Wow.
Yes. So in the category, I think she was like I don't know. I was about to say assistant manager. We know that's not right. But assistant, whatever the second actress or actress.
Supporting.
But yeah, she's the first supporting. Yes, that's what it was. She's the first Black female to win in that category. So I think that's awesome.
Wow. Breaking all kinds of records and looking amazing.
And looking freaking amazing. Okay, let's get down to Phaedra. I'm okay with her staying at the Ultimate Girls Trip. That's where you need to get your check. Go, just stay there. We don't need you anywhere else. Because you're supposed to be an attorney. You're supposed to have what's she doing the funeral? Oh gosh,
is she still doing that?
That's my point. So you give us all these lies before, and then you're still not keeping it up. That's what I'm getting to. However, I made a comment on one of your posts, and let me clear this up because people just, I don't know if they weren't reading or they didn't understand. When it comes to the whole budget thing, I'm with you. I don't believe it. However, I can see where it could be because if and I'm gonna stick with the same number I put in the comments. We're gonna stick with 700K. If Phaedra is looking for $700,000 on Atlanta, and someone like Kenya on Atlanta is already getting $700,000,
Mm-hmm.
Phaedra's not going to bring what Kenya gives us.
Yeah.
So I can see how Atlanta doesn't have the
room or space
for Phaedra. Yes, the room for space. However, if she wants the 700 and she wants to go to Married to Medicine, and someone like Toya, who gives us good content, gives us a good show, is getting 700, I think Phaedra would fit better at that cast for that budget if that's what she's looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I don't believe it, but if that's really the situation, I can see how it could be.
But do you want to see it? Do you want to see?
No, I would rather her stay on the girlfriend's trip. She could stay. I think it was great how they came up with the ex-wives.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it with the ex-wives. Let that be like its own little spinoff. Every other season is ex-wives, and leave her there. We don't need it, Phaedra. Like someone said earlier, when she was on the boot camp show, she never even kissed the dude, and he was gorgeous. You see that chocolate Hershey kiss he was?
Mm-hmm.
He was very handsome.
I saw a lot of pictures this week when I was looking pictures for her.
And then, like you said earlier, she's not married. We don't know who this guy is. Like, no, Phaedra, just go sit down. You tried to do Dubai. We're not here. We don't. And I love when you do that little imitation. So if you can give us a little quickly imitation again every once in a while.
What do you mean?
That right there. Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. All right. Wait, I saw that Janelle, I'm about to bring you up, but Janelle says no, Angela Bassett wasn't the first Black woman to win in her Golden Globes category. Octavia Spencer, Monique, and more. She was the first actor to win for the MCU role. Okay. I'm going to bring up Janelle next. Hold on one second. Let me just switch this and go here. What's going on, Janelle?
Bonjour. Hello, darling.
Bonjour. How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year.
You too.
Yes. I hope you had a great time in Europe. I saw the Insta stories. I was living through you. Bonjour. But yes, I want to talk about Golden Globes. And so she's the first actor to win for an MCU role.
Mm-hmm.
And then also somebody in the chat put in like Jennifer Hudson also won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture. So there's been I'll say this, a lot of Black women have won for the Supporting Actress award.
Yeah.
Not many have won for Best Actress.
And Angela has.
Angela won for Best Actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in either drama, musical, or comedy, there have not been many of us.
Yeah.
Not many at all. Hopefully I get added to that list one day.
Are you an actress?
Yes, I am.
I didn't know. I should probably know from the personality, but okay.
Yes, I am.
Are you still in California right now?
Say again?
Are you still in California?
No, I'm in New York.
Okay.
I was in Florida before.
Okay.
And now I'm in New York. Okay. I'm back from vacation I'm done being I can't say the word because I was doing the most. Anyways, but yeah, I want to talk about the Golden Globes. I enjoyed it. And the thing is, I enjoy the people who get drunk throughout the night because they stop serving food before the show and they're drunk off of champagne.
Like Mike White.
They received their award. They're like Mike White admitted, like, yo, I'm drunk. Jerrod Carmichael, I like him as a comedian. Do I think he was a good fit for the show? Not necessarily. I think he's low energy, but that's not a bad thing. Like, he's a real chill comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be very ostentatious like a Chris Rock or a Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. So it's like it makes sense that he was he was just chill, and that's fine. And also, he has a similar comment to Ricky Gervais where he's going to call out Hollywood on their hypocrisy. Because like Ricky Gervais called out the people in attendance for their not allegiance, but for them hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein before and Harvey Weinstein.
But mind you, all of these stuff are vetted before they do it. So it's not like they don't know they're going to say this. So
exactly. I mean, celebs they complain after the fact, but whatever.
Yeah.
So and Jerrod Michael did a similar thing with them. So yo, I know I'm here because I'm Black. Like, what's up? Like, how are you? Like, I'm glad he was honest with it. And then, one thing before I get off, I used to live in Ghana like eons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say this, I have heard from friends, New Year's in Ghana is crazy. If you are not there with a group or somebody who's like, who's going to be like your personal tour guide, It's a lot
See,
because like it's a lot of parties, it's a lot of clubs. I don't know necessarily what your thing is
that's not my
necessarily.
thing.
Okay. But see, now because black people have, like, you know how Jewish people go to Israel for their birthright trip,
Mhm.
black people are doing the same thing now with Ghana, where they're going there for their birthright trip because
Mm.
that is where the point of no return is, where the enslaved Africans were brought over on the Atlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them are making New Year's as like that's part of their pilgrimage. And
Mm.
so if you're not, if you, I mean, you can still do that throughout any part of the year, but if you're not going to be going to the parties or, where you don't get home until 7, 8 a.m., boo boo, it's not for you.
I didn't do that in
But
Denmark, and that's what they do. And I was like, nope, that ain't for me.
I would say I recommend, now it's super hot during this time, but I personally enjoyed it. I would go there in the spring before the rainy season.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation to you. So right now for you, that probably would be 2024, but also like
Why
September,
2024?
because I said spring. Unless you got the coin to go there now,
How
those
much is
tickets
it
are
expensive to go? Like, or even when you're there?
Ghana is not expensive for Americans because our currency goes a long way
Okay.
over there, but the plane flights are expensive.
Okay.
I mean, when I went over there, and this is in 2011, it was 1,500 then.
Oh, okay.
And that was for a coach. I don't do coach anymore.
They don't even call it coach anymore. You mean economy?
I do neither. Okay. I listen, I blame my parents. They put me in premium economy one time and I said we will never go back.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. I'm part of that bougie life. That's what manifesting that. But anyway, like I was saying is that if you want to go to Ghana, I would say the spring or even the fall, like September, October, to
Okay.
avoid the rainy season. I would say that's the time to go, and I think you will really thoroughly enjoy it.
Mm.
Accra's beautiful. If you have the time, you could travel to Kumasi, where that is where the Asante Kingdom is based.
Mm.
You can also go to Tamale, where you can go see elephants. Like you
Oh.
could be like maybe like I'm not even joking. Hello, hello, hello. I see the correlation.
And before I let you go, Jenna, how long do you think that I would need in Ghana?
Well, the flight itself is between 12 to 16 hours.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're gonna fly out of New York,
Mhm.
and with a layover, it's gonna be around 16. So I would say 2 weeks if you really want to see everything.
Oh, okay, not bad. All
I would
right.
say 2 weeks. You can, especially don't, because I recommend people don't just stay in Accra.
Mm.
That's the capital.
Mhm.
Go to Cape Coast. Go to Willie Falls. Go to the Asante Kingdom. Go to Tamale. Because like one, the ticket is so expensive, and but then once you're there, your money will stretch so far. I mean, go. That's why I tell people 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like a week is not enough in Ghana, in my frank opinion.
And this is a perfect example, guys, of what you get during Thirsty Thursdays. We're not just talking about reality TV or just pop culture news. We're talking about travel, because I'm sure all the information Janelle just shared is going to be helpful, not just to me, but plenty of people listening. Janelle?
Yes, people go to Ghana. It's a beautiful country. The people are so friendly. And also, like for Black people, and Steve Harvey said this the other day on The View, and it really stuck with me because I felt that when I lived there. When you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like you're a minority, where you don't have to wake up like, am I gonna make it back home safely? Like,
Mm.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be part of the majority. I'm gonna be discovering my culture. When I tell you, I never took that feeling for granted the
Wow.
moment I left Ghana, because it was such a stark difference when I came back to America.
Mm.
So if you're Black and you really want to know your heritage, or you just want to know where Black people just came from in general, make that trip. It will be life-changing.
Wow. Wow. Janelle, thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, well, much love to you, Boo Boo Kitty, and I will see you later. Go
Take
eat
care.
something. Bye.
You know I'm hungry. Bye. I love our callers because they have such a wealth of knowledge and have lived some lives. Wow, she lived in Ghana. So if you're not following me on Twitter, you're missing out. I'm talking about these things. So be sure to follow me on Twitter at TheKempire. We're going to take some more callers, guys. We've hit our goal of over 500 likes. So I'm going to drop the call-in link in the live chat. Okay. Hold on. All right, callers. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all got to Be straight to the point. I hate to rush anyone, but straight to the point because we have a few people waiting backstage, and I already know a couple of people are calling in now. Gabriella, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Gabriella?
Quick comment. I want to know why we don't see the scene between Dana and Jensha when they argue.
We don't see what? Oh, you didn't see the Dana conversation.
Dana in Salt Lake. We don't see Dana and Jensha argue in this famous scene we see on the trailer. We don't see it on the show. And Heather, it's a feet flop. Well, feet flop, yes. At the end, we see Heather accusing Coach Shah. But why we don't see this famous scene about this Dana and Jensha thing? We all see in the trailer. We are all excited, but we don't see that.
Yeah.
And Angela Bassett was so good in Tina Turner.
Oh.
In Tina Turner.
Yeah.
She was
One
so
of my favorite
good
movies.
on it. She was so good. So love to everybody. And if you want to come on Africa, Senegal, for all the campies on the Discord, I have my friend. He had a house. He can take you all the campies, not only one, two, but he can take all of you. And from Algeria, I will be there for you to helping you guys. So on the Discord, I'm here. Bye bye. Bisous, and bonne année.
Bye, Gabriella. All right. I'm gonna bring Rakita's closet next. Hold on. What's going on, Rakita?
Hey, Kim.
How are you?
I'm gonna be real quick. I got 2 points. Okay. So I don't care to see either one of them, Phaedra or Quad, on my screen. However, I would rather see Phaedra than Quad because Quad pat herself on the back way too much for me. Like, I know she bruised on her back behind there because she has way too much self-promotion. Like, it's annoying. At some point, like, girl, we get it. You think you fabulous. And then second point is Coordinator Shaw. Like, I'm sorry, bro, you lying. It's no way your spouse is bringing in that kind of money and you're not asking no questions. You're not asking any questions. So your wife is bringing thousands of dollars in your household. Millions. I see. I thought it was. You said million. You said millions with an M.
She owes. At first, they were saying $9 million in restitution. Now they're saying $6.5 million in restitution.
I ain't no snitch, but bro, lying. I'm sorry. You are not wondering where your wife is coming up with millions. Because I'm telling you, if I bring home $100 extra, my husband like, where that's from? I'm sorry, I go business.
Not 100 extra.
I'm telling you, it ain't no way he did not know. But at the end of the day, God knows, and just be careful because when you stealing other people's money, listen, that's coming back. That's coming back, and in his form, it may not be coming back in the form of jail time, but sir, you gonna pay for that because listen, nobody likes a thief. But that's it. But go ahead and eat. Love you. Bye.
Thanks, Rakita. Guys, don't forget on our YouTube channel, we are asking you in the live chat a poll, and already over 300 something votes. And basically, you guys would much rather hear from Stuart Smith or Jen Shah's victims than Jen Shah. Keep voting. If you're not on YouTube, head on over to YouTube and vote in our poll there. Replay crew, we want to know where you're watching from, your thoughts on any of what we've talked about, and your thoughts on this possible one-on-one interview with Jen Shah. Who do you want to hear from? Jen Shah, Stuart Smith, or Jen Shah's victims? All right, Phoenix is backstage. I'm going to bring her up next, or them up next. What's going on, Phoenix?
You could call me her. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
Oh, well, how are you, Phoenix?
I'm good. So I decided this year to do a little, what do you call it? Like when you're like a snow bunny where you like go to Miami for a few months in the winter. So I left New York. So I'm in Miami. I literally was driving from Miami Beach into Miami proper, past Star Island. And that's where, what's her face? Lisa and Lenny live.
Yes.
This little island. That house is huge.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker, so I'm used to apartments. So I have no grasp of when they say a mansion, everything's a mansion to me. You got a 3-bedroom house, that's a mansion to me. Okay, but like, wow. Like it almost looked like it was a government building. But I'll save that for a Miami.
Wow.
Miami episode. But yeah, no, it's been amazing here. The weather's been great. So I just want
How long are you staying down there until the spring?
Yes, that is the goal. I mean, I'm finishing up school, so I can finish up the rest remotely. So, why not at this rate? But anyway, yeah, I don't feel like enough people are talking about how weird that episode of Salt Lake City was. Like, I honestly feel like Bravo has been dropping the ball since they canceled the Roni reunion. That was like kind of, I feel like the beginning of the end. Like things have just gotten so weird with like the forced storylines, the botched editing, like how they split up the episode in two halves and then they had those scenes of like Jen in like a New York City like skyscraper looking out the window and resting her purse down. It was so dramatic. It was weird. I feel like it was not giving what they thought that it was going to give. And I'm going to be honest here, not everybody's going to agree with me. I never really felt it for Salt Lake City like that. It has not been around long enough for me to be really invested in any of the characters. And I don't think that Jen Shah is a single redeeming trait to her at all. The only thing that was redeeming were maybe her kids and her mothering, but she sold out her kids by selling that video to Bravo of them being held at gunpoint. And she's still trying to bring that up. Even to this day, she's trying to bring that up. And I'm like, so do your Black children get an apology for you putting them at risk as a non-Black person? Because you're not Black, girl, by the way. But I know she forgets that I clocked her with those box braids one too many times. Let me just tell you. Yeah, so things have been great here in Miami. The sun is shining. And I just want to say thank you so much because it has been a rough couple of months, a rough year. And it's been great just tuning in, calling in, listening in. So, yeah, I appreciate it. But I think Salt Lake City needs to be canceled. It was a flop. I have no interest in watching the reunion. I don't know if you saw the preview.
I did.
But the outfits, remember how you rated them? Girl, they looked even worse, like in live motion. I was like, wow.
I mean, even the preview wasn't really, of course, I'm going to watch it so we can talk about it here. But if I was just a viewer, I wouldn't even watch it. I'd be like, what are we going to watch? What are we going to watch? What are we talking about?
Well, it's just going to be like Whitney trying to say that Heather hurt her, but talking like she's a 12-year-old girl. And then like Heather, like still not telling us about the black eye. And then all the friend ofs trying to like make themselves relevant on a show that's already not relevant. Somebody posted something and said, bring Miami to Bravo and put Salt Lake City on Peacock if you want to keep Salt Lake City on Peacock. Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep it alive at all. Because I'm like, I feel like Miami is just, and it's not just because I'm here, but I feel like it's giving so much more. Like Salt Lake has always just felt like when I was in middle school and there were like these like mean white girls with the middle part that didn't know how to do their makeup and didn't know how to dress. I feel like that's just what Salt Lake is giving. I don't know if Salt Lake is like that. If you have any viewers from Salt Lake, tell me, because I have no want or need to visit at this rate.
Lord, damn. All right, Phoenix. Thank you so much. Enjoy your rest of your time in Miami. Guys, they did drop the mid-season trailer for Miami, which looked really, really good. Of course, we'll be talking about Miami during our recap, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoy content like that, be sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and be sure to follow me on my social media platforms like TikTok and Twitter. All right, Tyler, I'm going to bring you up. O'Shea, I just want to say it says devices not connected, so if you're trying to call in to speak, you might have to drop out and then come back in. I'm not sure what's happening there. Tyler, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Tyler?
Hey, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say this, and this is being very sincere. Thank you for being a very great representation of the LGBTQ community, because there's a lot of foolery going on the internet. Not saying that people cannot have their own personality and things like that, but we are more than, the wigs and making a mockery of certain things. We are, and I truly appreciate. That's why I love your channel, and I became a member. And I love how you speak on things from a place of you don't seem to be biased or trying to attack people and things like that. You just come in very professional, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to say that first.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Now let me get to being shady. When it comes to Phaedra, let me say this. I feel as though I actually am of the opinion that Atlanta has gone downhill, because it seems as though they do a lot of let's bury stories that matter and just replace them with someone else. Phaedra should have been back on Atlanta after season 9, and Candy should have just had faced it. I'm of the opinion that I like Candy. I think Candy doesn't need to go anywhere on Atlanta. I feel like Candy is a staple in Atlanta, and anybody that says she isn't is a lie. No matter how boring they think she may be, Candy is a formidable player on Atlanta. She just is. She is Atlanta. So you need Candy. But I do think that the network should have just told Candy, look, we'll give you a few more dollars, but you're going to have to face this story. Like, and bring her in. I don't think that Phaedra will bring much to Married to Medicine. I mean, she's going to be all palm and pageantry. I don't. And another thing that I don't agree with, Quad can be annoying, but I am a big component of Black women celebrating themselves. I love to see it. There is, because they already think that we have low credit scores, we live in poverty, things like that. I love to see Black women celebrate themselves. I love that there are so many self-made millionaires or women on that show, or women that are just in high income who can, without their husbands, take care of themselves. I love to see that. I do. I'm sorry.
But can't she do it? Look, can't she do it on RHOA versus Married to Medicine?
Now, that's what I was about to say. I would love for them to, if they want to do anything, swap Phaedra and Quad out. I think that Quad would be better in the mix over there with Atlanta. I really do. I think they're missing the mark with there. But let me ask you one question, then I'm going to go. Don't you think that season 12 of Real Housewives of Atlanta should not have been touched? There was so much after that virtual reunion that could have been an amazing show. That, I just think that season 12...
That was a good virtual reunion.
Think about it. Eva brought it at the reunion, even though she got red. There was storyline there with Nene and Portia. They kind of joined forces. Kenya. There was real conflict there that needed to be addressed for the next season. And I think that that they ruined it. And it seems as though Andy needs to answer this, because I wish somebody would ask him. And it's not that I'm a Nene fan, but I do think Nene is very valuable. You cannot deny it, because they're trying to do everything. Make Sheree the OG. She's not the face of Bravo. It won't happen. But it seems as though you can forgive Bethany. She said horrible things about you. Yeah. You've tried to kiss Kathy Griffin's tail millions of times, having her on Watch What Happens Live. Phaedra accused someone of rape, which is worse with racist or whatever like that. Rape, like you have a dungeon, but you're icing Nene out. I don't understand it. I feel like there should be a way.
I mean, in all fairness, Bethany did not sue the network.
Yes, agree. But let me say this. She didn't sue the network, and I don't agree with Nene. I think there was a lack of education there. No shade. I'm not being shade. I think that someone ill-advised Nene. Now, Nene needs to apologize on her behalf. She does. But I do feel like Bravo needs to mend the fences of what happened with Nene, because we cannot lie. I feel like that's kind of why RHOA is not where it's supposed to be, because you have Kenya, but Kenya and Nene together. People say Kenya and Portia. No, Kenya and Nene together is TV gold. You will always have your ratings. You can put whatever girls you want around them, and Kenya and Nene together, whether they're friends, because when they were friends on season 10, that would have been a boring season if they weren't. But they gathered and collected Kim in a way that I did not understand. No. And Kenya is kind of telling them that, like, hey, you notice she's always bringing up Nene. Last season, she said Marlo wants to be Nene. Nene needs to come back. Nene needs to be back. They need to mend those fences. But Phaedra, girl, don't go over there. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. I don't see it. What is she gonna bring to Married to Medicine?
I don't know.
No, who is she gonna replace? Hopefully Anila or Contessa. But other than that, who do you want to see them get rid of, Kempire? Who?
From Married to Medicine? Honestly, Quad, just because she's not married to medicine right now. And I feel like she doesn't fit within the group. I mean, I don't really love Dr. Contessa, but at least she's a doctor and she's married to medicine. So I
will say this with Quad. I'm going to say this. I will say this. If she comes back this season arrogantly thinking that you are just the star of the show and not bringing anything, send her walking papers. I feel like last season they brought her back to test it out. She did okay showing her family. She was a little boring, but she showed her family and things of that. Okay, now when you come back, I need to see who you're dating. Even if it's not a doctor, be open. Who are you dating? How are you what's going on with your life? Is your mom okay? How are you? I need you to be more open. If not, goodbye. Put her on one of those ultimate girls trips. Now she'd be gold. She'd read those little white women down to death.
I know, but you gotta remember the premise is Real Housewives.
We need to stop that. Just Bravo.
So they have to bring her to maybe Atlanta first, then put her on that.
yeah, but you know what? You're right, Kempire. Atlanta would be perfect for Quad. It would, because none of them seem to be married with, except a few of them. So it would be perfect. But I just want her to be more open. But I do think she needs to stay on reality TV. I just think she's outgrown.
I definitely think she's reality TV gold. She has a big personality. She's very funny to watch. I just don't know if she is mixing well with the ladies on Married to Medicine anymore.
One last thing, and I promise I'm gone. Potomac. I said this to you last week, and I regret that I said it, because never mind. I watched this last episode. Giselle, goodbye. I'm sorry. I want to see, and people say Robin. No, actually, I want to see what Robin will do without Giselle. Goodbye.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay,
Tyler. Giselle, bye. Bye, Giselle. But other than that, bye.
Bye, Tyler. Thank you so much for calling in. You gave us a lot to think about and unpack, okay?
Bye.
Take care. Well, she does bring up a good point. Tyler does bring up a good point, because when I think about the season during the pandemic, and it was still this is why Atlanta is so great, because even with a virtual reunion, that virtual reunion was quite entertaining. It was quite entertaining, but we have to keep in mind with the reason why some of those ladies did not come back. It wasn't because Bravo did not offer them a return ticket. It was because they didn't like the return ticket. So keep that in mind. It's not that they were fired or their contract wasn't renewed. They didn't like what they were being offered. Nene, she was being offered. They were negotiating for her to return. She didn't like the contract. She didn't like the money, according to reports, allegedly. We shall see. I mean, the season 15 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta is about to wrap. They're in their last couple of weeks. We did post an exclusive from lovebscott.com in regards to what's been going on with casting for next season, and they might end up with 7 or 8 housewives. But it sounds like they have a full cast this season. I'm interested. To see what you guys have to say as well. So be sure to let us know, replay crew. Let me switch out back to our original programming here. There we go. If you're just joining us, this is our Thirsty Thursday. We have it every single Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. We cover reality TV news, and pop culture news. We talked a little bit about the Golden Globes today. We talked about Jen Shaw. We talked about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's finale. We talked about Below Deck Adventure. We talked about Love Without Borders. We talk about a lot of different things. I want to know your thoughts, replay crew, and in the comment section. All right. Thank you to our King's Guards, aka our moderators. We could not do this without you. Thank you to all of you that sent in super chats, including Judy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Judy says, just wanted to support the channel as I missed today. It's okay, Julie. Julie, we appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Candace, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, bring back Dr. G and his fiance. I mean, I'm open. I don't know who I've seen the fiance, but I don't know what her personality is like. I mean, that would shake things up if they brought Quad back and they brought back Dr. G. Just saying. Victoria, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I don't know how to call in. What y'all want to know? I mean, I think you basically just said you didn't know about the whole situation with Jen Shaw until this past December. I don't feel there's a need for you to call in unless there's stuff that you can tell us about her in regards to her character, like her sinisterness, you know. Sinisterness is not a word, but we're going to make it a word. All right. V, thank you so much for the super chat. V says, hey, Kempire, I just want to say I love your channel. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, V. We appreciate you supporting as well. Again, thank you to our moderators. Thank you to our members of the channel. We cannot do this without you, especially on a monthly basis. We continuously are growing because of your support and elevating what we do here behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and in all of the videos. Thank you to our moderators, aka the King's Guards. We appreciate you as well. Thank you all to all of our subscribers for being here, for sharing the content, for subscribing, for rating and reviewing. Do all those things. We appreciate you guys so much. Shout out to Miss Beverly for upgrading her membership. We appreciate you as well. Guys, have a great rest of your Thursday. We will see you all in the next video, next story. We do have a Real Housewives of Miami recap coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. If you don't want to miss out on any of the content, you have to subscribe. You have to turn your notification on, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, let's get out of here. Bye, y'all. Oh, Scotty, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you as well for supporting the channel. Guys, don't forget to follow Scotty as well and support him. We appreciate you, Scotty. All right, let's get out of here. Peace.